All righty, you are looking live. It's sold out MetLife Stadium where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Miami Dolphins. And why are the Miami Dolphins 0-16? Because they suck. They won a Super Bowl since after the 73 season. Haven't won a Super Bowl in 50 years. Miami Dolphins, you suck. I think they got, 2 Super Bowls in the 80s and they got blown out. Stuff just gets me. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there always going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Remain much because many time watching the replay this once again. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight. Shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away. Throw it in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. Oh, my buddy Randy's here. Usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes. As soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. But plus also, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, whatever I might want to be, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free, fire away. Vinny G-Man, what's up, buddy? How's it going? Get off my lawn! Before I get started, anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. In the description box below, the very top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. Unfortunately, the first one's called the Saquon. Second one's called the Lorenzo, and the third membership level I got is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me, and I would thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live, if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. Maybe give this video a thumbs up or share this video. That would be freaking awesome. I'd really appreciate it. And then finally, also just a little way down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one's a Facebook link. One underneath it, it's I'm an old-time fan, right? I hate change, like things just the way they are. I'm one of them, get off my lawn type of old-time farts. I like things just the way they don't be changing stuff up on me, right? It's a Twitter link, right? It's always been Twitter to me. It's always been Twitter to me, right? Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants me to call it, that's on you, bro. I'm not calling it that. I'm calling it Twitter because it's Twitter. You follow me on Twitter, I'll follow you back. That's an absolute promise. I try to put Giants-related stuff in my Twitter account every day. And then finally, a link on top of it takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing and if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. And not only do I put stuff in this group, but the members post stuff in this group. So between me and the members, there's a ton of New York Giants information going in this group every day. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. All right. With all that stuff said and done and out of the way with. So with this Hard Knocks here, this is like one of those. I guess they got like a new Hard Knocks kind of thing for like every type of the season. Time of the season they got right after the season's over with. They got a Hard Knocks. Then they got a Hard Knocks, the training camp Hard Knocks, right? Then they got the in season. You follow a team. The one thing is like with the in-season, sometimes it's kind of tough. I guess you can pick it if you were to pick a team, like maybe if they pick the Lions or the 49ers or something, a team that, or maybe the Chiefs, is going to go go far, But like in the in-season, sometimes I guess if you pick certain teams, I guess, some of them just kind of fizzle out. And I guess regardless, if a team's not doing well, you can be in the locker room or whatever, or on the sideline during the games and stuff, and see how it's going from a bad team's perspective, I guess. right? Of course, then you always have the training camp. So, obviously now they have the new Hard Knocks with the Giants. So, I mean, there was a lot of stuff. I mean, because you figure you got the in-season, right? The training camp Hard Knocks. So you're following a team. Probably, like it also seems like you're following some rookies, like will so-and-so make the team, and they follow him during practice and see how he's doing and stuff like that and all, So, I mean, there's that. I said then you follow a team, obviously, during the regular season. But, I mean, this one here, I mean, there was a lot going on. I mean, right after the season ended, right after the Giants' final game of the season, a lot of stuff. I mean, dispersing the troops, right, for the East-West Shrine game, the Senior Bowl, the combine, the pro days, and you got the free agency, you got the draft. Was there anything going on during the draft? With phone calls, trying to making trades. Obviously mini camps. Then you got the OTAs. So there's a lot of little different things going on. I mean, they're all, whether it's a training camp Hard Knocks or the in-season Hard Knocks. I mean, they're all cool and important and all that. But this one is a lot of stuff going on, so could quite possibly reveal quite a few different things. But there was this one article here. Which one is it here? Oh, I got 75,000 tabs open up. I got to find. Here we go. It's from Giants Wire. Dan Benton wrote this here. 10 things Hard Knocks could reveal about the Giants. Very interesting. And one of them would be, possibly. Now, you're not sure, but they talk about possibly what happened with Wink. But they starts the article off with the New York Giants will appear in their first ever off-season edition of Hard Knocks. And you figure, I think if I remember correctly, Hard Knocks started was like in 2001. So, I mean, for them to go this far and not be on Hard Knocks at all, that's pretty impressive. That's not an easy thing to do. I know Mr. Mara, actually, when Hard Knocks first started, Wellington was with the Giants. Wellington in 2001. So Wellington Mara, John's father, passed away in 2005. So, so Wellington was with the Giants for like the first 4 years, I guess, when they had the Hard Knocks going on. But I know John Mara does not particularly, like the idea of the Hard Knocks kind of thing kind of going on, have, I guess, all the cameras there and everything like that. I know John Mara is not a fan at all of the training camp Hard Knocks. Maybe he wasn't quite as hard on the end of the season. This kind of Hard Knocks kind of going on. So, but maybe also he's kind of looking at it. Okay, so we did our Hard Knocks. Now we get out of jail free, get a Monopoly card, get out of jail free card for 10, 15 years or so. You start doing other teams. I mean, the thing is, though, is that you got 32 teams, right? If they have the end of the season Hard Knocks, they got the training camp Hard Knocks, and then they got the during the season Hard Knocks. That's 3 teams each year. So if you got 32 teams, that means every 11 years, you're going to be, thrown back into the fire again. So, but at least maybe as far as John Mara is concerned, he's got his get out of jail free card for like maybe 10 seasons. Maybe, maybe the Giants won't be on Hard Knocks for 10 seasons. I mean, I'm fine with it. I think, you got somebody like, an old timer, like me, get off, move on, right? Old time, I don't like change, I mean? I like things just the way, I mean? So maybe John Mara is more like with his thinking like with his father, because his father was an old timer, But, he likes the things not to get changed up much. Maybe with Brian Daboll and Shane there, they're used to it, and it's maybe not as big of a deal to them as it would be to maybe a John Mara or something like that. So, but, it's going to be interesting. If there's 5, what the hell is it? The first July 2nd, I think it is. And then I think it's so it's the 2nd, the 9th, the 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th of July. So you got 5 episodes in July. So every Tuesday in July on HBO. I think it's HBO, maybe somebody else. But anyway, in July. So it should be pretty cool. To be honest, yeah, I'm sick of hearing about Hard Knocks and the jerseys that they're going to wear for 2 games. And poor Daniel Jones. Oh, I'll tell you what, boy. I'll tell you what. Man. That the Daniel Jones stuff is just, it's endless. I did a video. I mean, I don't even remember. I can't remember who put the article out there, but somebody put it out there that Daniel Jones was the 32nd best quarterback, and he put him behind, like, I mean, it just goes to show you how ridiculous it is. It's like I said once again, I don't even remember who put the article out, but I did a video on it. But he had, like, whoever it was had J.J. McCarthy ahead of Daniel Jones. Penix Jr. was ahead of Daniel Jones. I mean, he had all these guys that hadn't even taken a snap in the NFL yet who were ahead of Daniel Jones. It's like, just really unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah. But the Hard Knocks, let's say, so one of them that it might show how did the Wink-Dable conflict play out? So that, I mean, you have to wait and see. It'll be very interesting to see. So beginning last season, reports arose that head coach Brian Dable and defensive coordinator Wink Martindale were clashing. That came to a head early in the offseason when Dable fired 2 of Martindale's closest confidants, my bad, the Wilkins brothers, sending the veteran defensive coordinator into a rage. Martindale reportedly blew up on Dable and stormed out of the building before the 2 sides parted ways days later. So, said, did Dable fire Drew and Kevin Wilkins in an effort to push Wink out the door? Well, possibly. That's a possibility, right? What was the really said behind closed doors, and did HBO cameras catch the final blow up between the 2? Interesting. We'll have to see. That's another one of the things. I mean, is that, what are they allowed to capture? I mean, because if it's like, if their cameras are in there and they capture something, can they put like anything out on HBO? Hard Knocks? I mean, if they caught it, is it fair game? I don't know. Be interesting. Very interesting. Not letting Saquon walk. There we go. After more than a year of negotiations, running back Saquon Barkley hit the free agency and was quickly scooped up by the Philadelphia Beagles in mid-March. That decision left a horrible taste in the mouths of Giants fans. After Barkley turned down a above-market deal a year earlier, the Giants opted not to match Philly's offer. What did HBO catch during those negotiations? And how did the final conversation between Barkley and the Giants organization play out? Well, we'll have to wait and see, I guess. I mean, once again, what did they capture? Then, of course, if we're talking about Saquon, right? Did they capture anything about Saquon? Did they capture anything about Xavier McKinney? Right? Although losing Barkley was the big story, the Giants allowed safety and team captain Xavier McKinney to walk via free agency. McKinney had expressed a desire to remain with the Giants while also pushing for what he felt he was worth. It would be interesting to see how those negotiations went. What did they capture, right? And how each side reacted to McKinney joining the Green Bay Packers. Another thing was the trade of Brian Burns. Yes. General Manager Joe Schoen made a big splash in free agency by acquiring Brian Burns in a trade with the Panthers. How did the talks begin? Does Hard Knocks, do they capture any of that? What do they capture, right? How quickly did they come together? And how did the Giants organization react when they got such a steal of a deal? Yes, they did. Pre-draft interest in quarterbacks. There you go. Right, there you go. The Giants spent a significant amount of time, money, and effort scouting the many quarterback prospects ahead of the 2024 NFL Draft. How was that scouting coordinated? What were the Giants specifically looking for? How did they view each prospect? Who did they want to target, and who did they rule out or grade further down the board? Although that's insignificant now, it would be interesting to see in hindsight. Another thing, Mike Kafka rumors and eventual promotion. After Martindale left the Giants, rumors swirled about Mike Kafka's unhappiness with Brian Daboll continued to swirl. While interviewing for head coaching positions, reports arose suggesting Kafka was willing to move laterally in an effort to exit East Rutherford. Instead of allowing that to happen, the Giants promoted Kafka from offensive coordinator to assistant head coach and offensive coordinator. Despite the promotion, Kafka's exact role remains unclear, and it's possible he's stripped of play calling duties. So we'll have to wait and see. But how did Daboll handle those rumors and reports behind the scenes? What conversation led to Kafka's promotion, and how were those in the front office handling the entire situation? Then we have the attempted trade up for a quarterback in the NFL draft. What did they capture there? Did they, were there any conversations they caught as far as maybe the Giants talking to the Patriots at number 3? Did they actually hear what the Giants offered? I mean, if there was such a conversation. I heard the NFL draft report suggested the Giants were aggressively trying to trade up for a quarterback. After the draft had concluded, it was determined that North Carolina Drake May, who went to New England Patriots, was the focus of that attempt. Giants ultimately passed on J.J. McCarthy and other remaining quarterback prospects at the number 6 in favor of Malik Neighbors. The draft concluded without Shane aiding a quarterback. HBO should have captured a first-hand look at those conversations and potential trade calls. How much were the Giants really offering? Right? Was Shane baiting other teams? That's a possibility as well, too. Was Jones aware of the potential trade prior to round 1? A lot of information could be revealed on Hard Knocks. Could be. You're not sure. War room during the NFL draft. There you go, right? Speaking of the war room during the trade conversations, what about the remaining 5 other picks, right? Rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, right? What conversation? Was there any phone calls, any trades? Did they take any? Did they take any calls about potential teams wanting to trade with the Giants? Will we get a glimpse of the Giants draft board? Ooh. The 150 players they have on their board. What back and forth was held before each pick, and were the Giants always targeting the prospects they eventually took, or will HBO reveal some other targets they missed out on? Like in the 3rd round, right? or the 2nd round. The 2nd round could be a big one, right? Because the Giants needed. Or possibly maybe, what we got here? Swift ran for 1,400 yards. How much better can Saquon be? I don't know. Swift had it really is amazing. They just like the guys, the Eagles had some good running backs. Swift, But the thing is, like I said once again, like with Howie Roseman, he's like, I'm a big guy. Look at me, I'm wheeling and I'm a wheeler and a dealer. I'm a big guy. Woo, look at me, I'm Howie Roseman. Woo, So he's always out there for the big names and all that and everything. I don't know. Yeah, you said it's 1,400 yards, right? Or whatever he had his total. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see here on that. Let's see. All right, here we go. He had 1,000 yards rushing, and how many yards receiving? He had 214 yards receiving. So he had 1,000 yards rushing, 214 receiving. He caught 39 passes. He had like almost 1,300 total yards. He had 6 touchdowns. I don't know. He's 24 years old. He's younger than Saquon. He's only had 593 career rushes. Right? He hasn't even had 600. Let's see. Saquon Barkley. Let's see. Saquon. How many touches has he had? I mean, and he pays like 2 or 3 times the amount of money to get Saquon Barkley. Saquon has had 1,200 carries. DeAndre Swift, 593. So we'll just round it up to 600. Okay. Saquon has had 600 more carries in his career. Swift is 20. Swift will be 25. Saquon is going to be 27. Saquon's 2 years older. Injuries. Let's say Swift. His first season in 2020 with the Lions played 13 games. So he missed 3 games. 2021, he played 13. So I guess he missed 4 games of the 17 games or 17 game schedule. Where it started 2 seasons ago. But so he played 13 games. He played 14 games in 2022. So he missed 3 games. Last season, he missed 1 game. Yeah, so he's relatively healthy. It seems like each year he might miss a couple games. I mean, Saquon's missed almost the whole season. Saquon's had tons of injuries. So, as I said, Swift had 600 carries. Saquon's had 1,200. Saquon's always getting injured. I mean, why do you want to pay $13 million or whatever? I mean, I think with Saquon, with incentives, I think he is. I don't know what the incentives are, but I think he can get up to like 15 or maybe even 16 million a season if he hits all the incentives. Now, once again, what they are, I don't know. But you can have Swift, who's younger, has a lot more tread on the tires, catches passes, good, had over 1,000 yards rushing. And so you get rid of him. Now you got Saquon. I don't. So you're paying $13 million a season for Saquon when you got some, whatever. I don't know. Yeah. What's the point of being the offensive coordinator and not calling the plays? I want to go to work, get paid, and do that. Well, I mean, quite possibly. I mean, this could quite possibly be his last season here. I mean, with Kafka. You know, I mean, especially if you think if he wanted to do a lateral move, I guess you can't be too happy where you're at. I mean, if you just love the organization and the coach and blah, 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 whatever, all that stuff and everything like that, why do I want to go to a lateral move? Was it Seattle? I think it was. Yeah, I'm good. I'm all right. I'm good here. I'm calling plays here. I don't want to call plays there. I'm good. So you want to leave. I mean, just for a lateral move, there must be something wrong. So, I mean, quite possibly, obviously, his time might be, coming to an end there. But so they're giving him obviously the assistant head coach, so he'll learn some other stuff. So I guess quite possibly for him, maybe they're kind of helping him out. So maybe next season, if he does get any more head coaching opportunities, right, maybe he'll be better prepared because he'll have some more insight as far as what goes on. You know, with some of the head coaching jobs and all and everything like that. That would be, I mean, that kind of just takes it right out of you. You know, if you're the offensive play caller, you don't call plays. I mean, it's like, yeah, that's cool. That's great. Yeah. A lot of fun. You know, the thing is, I mean, like with that, I mean, the thing is that if you have an offensive play calling plays and you're the head coach, then you could concentrate on like everything. You can concentrate on the offense, the defense, special teams. Do we need to call timeouts, situations? As you can, all that stuff and everything, But I mean, if you're all worried and about calling plays and stuff like that, that I don't know. I mean, it's I like a coach that can delegate, duties but obviously free himself up. I mean, like Parcells, what Parcells did. He had an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. He wasn't calling plays. He was on the sideline. Same thing with Coughlin. Coughlin's on the sideline, right? Keeping an eye on everything. So it must be pretty tough for Kafka. I mean, you get a promotion, but then yeah, you're right. You get the plays taken away, possibly taken away from you. We'll have to wait and see. I mean, I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that at all. Let's see. It says, what do we got here? Oh, Daniel Jones to rehab and recovery. Large portion of the Hard Knocks will ultimately focus on quarterback Daniel Jones. He's a lightning rod, and his presence will drive attention among fans, reporters, analysis, and executives. How did Jones handle all the offseason rumors? Where is he in terms of rehab as he recovers from a torn ACL and a second neck injury? Perhaps a better question is, will he get any insight into the severity of Jones's neck injuries and what that means for him at this point in his career? Then they'll have, I got to have something on OTAs and the mini camp that we just had. They got to have something there on Hard Knocks. The HBO cameras will catch a lot of what has yet to happen. The Giants are into organized team activities, OTAs, at this point and through rookie minicamp, but much still remains. How did rookies handle their first time in a Giants field, right? What were the introductions to their veteran team members like, and what went into undrafted players earning a spot on the 90-man roster? And what happens from here? It's the Giants. It's the bright lights of New York. There are sure to be plenty of storylines. Absolutely. Oh yeah. I mean, that's the one. That's the one nice thing. Like with this keeps it kind of interesting is that there was a lot that went on. A lot. I mean, as I said, it's just not just training camp. Guys showing up for training camp, and maybe they're following a couple rookies to see if the guys will make the team and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot that went on. I mean, you look at from the end of the season to where we are right now. I mean, it's, between coaches coming and going and firing and free agencies and bring quarterbacks in and Daniel Jones and the draft and it's a lot of different things went on. So, I mean, I have five episodes. They're going to be cramming some stuff in there. I mean, I said with Xavier McKinney going, brought trade for Brian Burns, with Saquon go. They got to do some cramming to get all 5 episodes. I mean, I'm sure they could have easily had another episode or two with all the stuff that went on with the Giants. But that's gonna be some good viewing. I'm very anxious to see it. What the hell is today? What? But it's about a month and a half, right? We're halfway through May, so the very beginning of July. So we got about 6 weeks or so. So that'll be very interesting. All right, next. Man, I'll tell you what, the Giants. Well, as of right now, I mean, and once again, it's not who you play, it's when you play them, right? What part of the season are you coming off your bye? Are you playing a team that has a week 12 bye and it's week 11? Are they injured? Are you injured? What's the last game of the season? Are they resting everybody because they're not in the playoff? They are in the playoffs and they're number one, and it doesn't matter if they win or lose. Or you gotta make the play. I mean, it's all But I'll tell you what, the Giants are favored in 3 games. Holy cow! Really? Yeah. Wow. Man, no love for the G-men. DJ could throw for $5K, win the Super Bowl, and people will still have things to say. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, he could win the next 37 Super Bowls. He could throw 100 touchdown passes, not have next season, this season coming up, he can throw for 5,000 yards, have 100 touchdown passes, not have one interception. We could go 17-0, win the Super Bowl, and some morons out there be like, yo, but hey, seen the third quarter game against Dallas? Huh? He threw an incomplete pass. I mean, that's unexcusable. We can't have that. I mean, it doesn't matter. You'll still have people that are for Daniel Jones and other people just not for Daniel Jones at all. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. There's going to be a big season for him. Big. I mean, it's an exciting season. I don't really think, I hope we go 17-0 and we beat everybody 312,000 to nothing. Not going to happen. I hope we win the Super Bowl. Probably not going to happen. I mean, but it's going to be very, very interesting season. Can we, do we can we stay healthy, right? And if we are healthy, how does Neighbors do? How does our offense do? How's our defense do with the new quarter? Can we get back to the winning ways? Can we get back to the playoffs? A lot of interest. This Daniel Jones storyline. It's going to be a lot of interesting stuff going on. And then once this season's over, then we have a lot of interesting stuff going on after the season's over too. Like with Daniel Jones, Mike Kafka we were just talking about. Is he going to be here? So it's going to be very, very interesting. Do the Giants progress? Do we look like a better football team, right? And then you give her, as I said, give us like next year's free agency and next year's draft, and we should have a nice solid. I think we're looking pretty good now, but we should be a little more polished after next year's free agency because we should have some money, a little bit of money to spend. We can probably bring in a nice guy, nice player or two. And then free agency, and then I said you get your first and second round picks, maybe a third round pick, fill out a couple more holes in the roster. We should, we won't be a complete team, but we should have a nice roster after next year, the free agency and the draft and everything. If the Giants win see, the thing is the thing he's trying to avoid. Is that because then the problem is, right, if you fire Shane or Dable or both of them or like that, now he's got to start everything all over again. See, a lot of it's going to, it'll depend, right? Because like last season, we won 6 games, right? But the Giants, they were fighting, right? There was like really no, didn't seem like anybody gave up. The final game of the season, we had nothing to play for but pride. And what did? We went out there and we beat the Eagles, right? So a lot of it's, if why did we only win 4 games? Well, did we lose our starting quarterback? Did we lose 13 wide receivers? Did Andrew Thomas get injured again? Did Dexter Lawrence get injured? Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns injured? Your Karake injured? Deontay Banks? Do we have 13 string players all around? Why did we only win 4 games? Right? Did we lose the locker room? Was it there a lot of? We got embarrassed a little bit in some of those games last year. But so he's got to take a lot of that into account. But if we stay healthy, if everybody's trying and we only win in 4 games, we got a problem. That's a problem. As I said, the thing is that what Mara doesn't want to do is keep recirculating. Recycling coaches and GMs and everything like that, because the thing is when you're gonna have a new coach coming in, right? He's gonna look at the roster and be like, I've got a couple guys here I like, but there's about 40 of them. They're not my guys. So what he's gonna clean house. He's gonna bring in his own bunch of guys. And it's tough. It's a tough. I think Mara will have a little bit more of a slack on the string, for maybe Dable and Shane, because I don't think he wants to keep recycling coaches like See, because if you go back, we go from 2014 to 2023, right? That's the last 10 seasons. We've had 5 coaches. Everyone's been here for 2 seasons. Now, of course, Coughlin's been here for a long time, but 2014 and 2015 with Coughlin, right? 2016 and 2017 was McAdoo. He didn't even make it through the rest of the season. 18 and 19 was Shermer. 2021 was Judge. 22 and 23 is Dable. So the last 10 seasons we've had 5 coaches. Each one lasted 2 seasons. It's almost impossible to win to start building a team that way, where every 2 seasons you're getting rid of a coach. And then we've had 3 GMs. Right, Jerry Reese and Gettleman, and now we got Shane. It's very, very difficult, very, very difficult. So, I personally think that he'll have a little more slack, for Shane or Dable. At least give him another opportunity or so. Because some of it we also had, the mess that Shane had when he came in here, the financial mess that he had, and when he came in, he had a hard time his first season. Bringing in free agency. We had to let Bradberry go because we couldn't even afford to keep him. Right. So he came into a mess. So finally, we got some of the mess cleaned up, and it was starting to bring in his own guys. So I said, I think he'll give a little more of a more slack to Shane and Dable, than try to get rid of him. Try to work things out as best he can. So we'll have to wait and see. But I mean, I'll tell you what, the Giants got the same thing last year too. I mean, I guess I really shouldn't complain. Complain. I mean, the Giants were not favored many, or this is before the season started, right? I mean, but who is this? This is from Giants country. DraftKings. According to DraftKings Sportsbook's early odds, the Giants are only favored in 3 games. Of course, 2 of the 3 are against Washington, and the other one is against Carolina. So, I mean, week 1, at home against Minnesota, we're 1-point underdogs. Washington with 3-point favorites. Week 3 at Cleveland, we're 6-point underdogs. Thursday night against the Cowboys, we're 4-point underdogs. At Seattle, week 5, we're 3.5-point underdogs. Cincinnati on Sunday night, we're 4.5-point underdogs. Philadelphia comes to town, we're 4-point underdogs. At Pittsburgh on Monday night, we're 4-point underdogs. Week 9 against Washington, we're 1.5-point favorites. There you go, right? Week 10 at Carolina, we're 1-point favorites in Munich. Then we got our bye. And then every game, the last 7 games, we're underdogs. Tampa Bay comes to town, and we're 1-point underdogs. Then we play the Cowboys on Thursday, obviously Thanksgiving, we're 8-point underdogs. Then New Orleans comes to town, we're 1-point underdogs. We're 6.5-point underdogs the following week when Baltimore comes to town. Then we go play Atlanta. They're 4.5-point favorites. Atlanta is. Then the Colts come here, and against the Colts, we're 2-point underdogs. And then the final game of the season, I can't argue with this one at all. In Philadelphia, we're 5-point underdogs. Now, of course, this is going to change big time based on who's injured, this, that, who's in the playoffs, who's not in the playoffs. The final game of the season against the Eagles, are they resting their players? Are we resting our players? Who's banged up? So all that stuff's going to change huge. But I mean, man, 17 games. The Giants we did win 6 games last season, right? So we're only favored in 3 games. Yeah. I mean, we beat the Packers with a 3rd-string quarterback. Yeah, we're only favored with 3. Yeah. Man, sometimes the Giants just don't get no love. I'll tell you what. But then again, I think it was the same thing last season. I don't remember who did it or whatever it was, but I'm sure there was an early predictions where we were not favored in many games last season either. All right, let's see here. What do we got here? This NFL analyst says the New York Giants offense could surprise in 2024. Ooh, somebody's showing some love for the Giants. The Giants offense isn't expected to get much love after the disastrous season it put together just 1 season ago. That remained true in Bleacher Report's rankings of every NFL offense going into the 2024 season. The Giants came in at number 30, with only the Panthers and the Patriots faring worse. Yeah, I guess that's fair. While Alex Ballentine of Bleacher Report ranked the Giants' offense among the worst units in the NFL, he also left room to be surprised in 2024. He said how they can improve. Most of the improvement needs to come from young players growing into their roles. Evan Neal, absolutely, is going to get another chance at right tackle, but he needs to. Jalen Hyatt needs to step up a little bit. He's going to have every opportunity to carve out a large role in the passing game. The same can be said for Wan'Dale Robinson. Brian Daboll did return the offense around in 2022 with Jones at the helm. If Jones stays healthy, Neighbors is electric from day one, and others step up. This offense could surprise. Neighbors is going to open stuff up for everybody, right? Giants did have more success in 2022, which was Daboll's first season as head coach. They reached the divisional round of the playoffs while committing the 2nd fewest turnovers in the NFL. That was huge for the Giants, committing very few turnovers. That was very, very important for them in 2022. That was a far cry from what the Giants put on the field in the 2023 season, but we at least know it's there. The offensive line still remains a major concern and likely will be the biggest factor in the unit's success in 2024. Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's the offensive line. Can they get any type of cohesion going? What can Carmen Basile do with these guys here? Right, it's going to be huge. Right, and so can we stay healthy? Can Daniel Jones stay healthy? If Drew Lock comes in, what can he do? We'll have to wait and see. But I think just with the addition of Neighbors, I mean, that's going to, I mean, I said, if you can get Neighbors on one side and you put like Hyatt on the other side, the speed, then Wan'Dale Robinson. I mean, I saw a stat. What the hell was it? I shared it with a Facebook group. It's Wan'Dale Robinson. I can't remember. Please forgive me. I can't remember if it was on every time he was targeted, Wan'Dale Robinson last season, or every time he ran a pass pattern. I can't remember what it was, but I shared it with the Facebook group. I saw it. One of the other Facebook groups shared it, and I copied. I shared it in the Facebook group, and I said every time he was either targeted or ran a pass pattern. I think he had like 4 yards of separation, which was like third best in the NFL. I think among wide receivers. Yeah, so I mean, the guy gets some separation. I mean, that seems like that's really huge for Dable. Shane and Dable, right? They want the separation. Might be quite possibly maybe why Dunzier didn't want to take him because he's more of a contested catch kind of guy. When he gets down the field, he gets, always seems to get some type of separation and all, but maybe not what a Malik Neighbors can do. Maybe what another Wan'Dale Robinson can do. And, we've seen Hyatt. I mean, he burned the sauce, right? In I think it was the Jets preseason game. It was one of those highlights. I think he was in motion, went across the formation. It was an exhibition game, and he went to Sauce's side, and he did like whatever it was, stop and go, and Sauce bid on it, and Hyatt was freaking past him. Who the hell threw the ball? Whoever threw the ball threw it like it was a bad pass. Threw it like over his head, out of bounds or something like that. But he had a couple steps on Sauce Gardner. I mean, you don't see that. I mean, he broke down. Sauce like, oh, I'm jumping the route, and then Hyatt got back on his horse and took off, and he was past Gardner. Yeah. So if Hyatt can really work on his route running, but if we can also, the offensive line can keep the quarterback standing upright long enough so the guys can get down the field so he can throw the pass, right? And I also like the running back by committee. I like Saquon. We got a soft spot in my heart for him and all that. I always love Saquon and all, but I mean, oh, sorry, buddy. I keep moving my legs and I wake my buddy Randy up. He's trying to take a nap here. But I like the running back by committee approach. I'm very anxious to see Tracy get on the field, and especially because he was a wide receiver. So if we can get that dude out in some pass patterns, I'm not saying he's Jerry Rice or not like that, but he should have some hands. He can catch the ball too. So I'm very, very anxious to see him. So we'll have to wait and see. A lot of it's got to do with injuries. Can we stay healthy? Can the offensive line perform? Can Daniel Jones stay healthy? So, but this one guy seems to think the Giants might surprise a little bit. Then again, you look at it, one thing, right, is like, knock on wood. We can't get hopefully we can't get any worse. Let's hope not. I mean, you figure if we can score, we can put up a few more points per game. I mean, we were 6-11. We, a couple of those games we came really close to winning. I mean, as bad as the season was, I mean, we had another break or two. This, the Giants could have won 7 or maybe even 8 games. I mean, that's pretty remarkable considering the amount of injuries we had. Of course, we had third string quarterback in there and everything. So, all right, then we got ranking the Giants schedule from the toughest to the easiest. What is this? Sporting News? The Sporting News. All right, so they got this. It goes from the toughest down to the easiest, and of course, you don't got to be rocket scientist to figure out who the easiest one's going to be. If the line somewhat shows up and the offense finally clicks, how many wins you think we can? Oh, well, I say we don't have a hard. I mean, we got some tough games, but we certainly got some winnable games. I mean, I can, I don't want to get too stone cold crazy, but I can certainly see us at least getting 8 or 9 wins. Certainly, absolutely. I mean, what we did last season with with that horrible offensive line, I mean, it was atrocious. Third string quarterback in there, and we're winning 6 games. And I said, if Graham. Not even Graham can know. If we had a healthy kicker in there, I mean, what was that field goal he missed against the Jets? A 35-yarder or something like that? I mean, if he wasn't injured, as I said, or if he said, hey, I'm not feeling good or something or whatever, we had another kicker in there. With journeyman kicker could make a 35-yard field goal. If we kick that field goal, right? I mean, that puts us up, 13-7? Against the Jets with what it was a minute to go. So the Jets would have had to gone whatever the length of the field, and they would have had to score a touchdown. All they had to do there was there was the 2 back-to-back plays the Jets had. They're in field goal range. Boom, they kick the field goal. They're tied up. Now we go to overtime. We lose in overtime. But if we kick that field goal and we go up 13-7, the Jets got to go the whole field and score a touchdown. Now their offense didn't do nothing all day. Really. So, I mean, there's a really good chance the Giants win that game. And I said, once again, with the injuries we had, the offensive line was atrocious. The third string quarterback in there, and we won 6, quite possibly could almost won 7 games, be 7-10. Easily. I can certainly see, if we can stay relatively healthy. And if Brasillo can do something with his offensive line, I can certainly see at least 8 or 9 wins. That's for sure. I don't want to say, oh, yeah, we're 13-4. So I don't want to go there, but I can certainly easily see at least 8 wins, 9 wins, 8 or 9. Sure. If everything goes well. Absolutely. But they're ranking here and here. They're going from the hardest down to the easiest. The easiest 3 games are, of course, the 2 against the Commanders and the 1 against Carolina. The hardest game they got, all right, would be obviously is the Thanksgiving Day game against the Cowboys. Now, we not done very good in Dallas, right? So, and it would be a tough one. Although, I mean, I certainly don't want to say the Giants have caught the Cowboys. We're going to beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys did not do a whole lot in free agency. They let a lot of guys go. So, but I can certainly say they got here the hardest game that we have next season is the one on Thanksgiving in Dallas. And hard to argue with that. I'm just a little skeptical. It's like, why do we play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving? We just played them on Thanksgiving a couple of years ago. I don't know. Then the second hardest game they got is when we play the Ravens. That I'm sure if the Ravens are healthy, that will be a very difficult game. Absolutely. Although the last time we played them, right, played them in Jersey, right, we beat them. It was a very, very exciting game. Very exciting game. It does kind of remind me. I can't remember what year it was. I can't remember. But the Ravens came to Jersey. I mean, I could probably look it up. But I forgot. Once again, I even forgot what the score was. But Odell Beckham Jr., right, was the sheriff. He was the man, right? Giants were losing. Whatever there was, a minute to go in the game, minute and a half, whatever the heck it was, we were losing, whatever. I guess it was Eli Manning. It drops back to pass. OBJ, I don't know if it was a post or if it was a slant, exactly what it was, but he cut across the middle. Eli hits him. Boom! He just splits the defenders, takes it all the way to the house. Place is going bananas, right? He's going crazy. The Giants beat the Ravens. So I think the last couple of times the Ravens have come to town, we've taken care of business. So, but I mean, The Ravens are a good team. I mean, if they're healthy, that'll be that'll be a tough contest. Then we got the game against the Bengals. The same thing with that. Is Burrow's going? What week is that? Week 6. Okay, all right. I mean, that'll be a tough one. I mean, if they're healthy, the game against the Bengals will be tough. Week 7 against the Eagles, that'll be a tough one. Now the thing is, it's just kind of here they're ranking them from the hardest to the easiest. So here they have the 4th hardest game is the Week 7 game when the Eagles are playing here. They have the final game of the season when we're playing in Philadelphia. That one's apparently somehow a little bit easier. I don't know. Unless they're figuring Week 18, the Eagles have locked up the division and they're resting all their players, maybe. I don't know. But here, according to their list here, the Eagle game in Jersey is going to be harder than the one that we're playing in Philadelphia. Bit odd. The 5th hardest game is when we're playing the Cowboys here. Then the 6th hardest game is when the final game of the season when we're playing in Philadelphia. Then the week 3 at Cleveland, that'll be a tough one. So you look at some tough games here. I mean, obviously the Cowboys, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Eagles, the Browns. I mean, some tough games. And then you got we got to play in Seattle. We got to play in Pittsburgh. Now, regardless of who their quarterback is or whatever or something like that, you still, I mean, Pittsburgh's going to be very tough. I'm sure, as long as Tomlin's their coach, they're going to be tough. They will be tough. So then you got, at Atlanta, and they are supposed to be an improved team. They have 2 very good quarterbacks, right? And we got Tampa Bay, right, is the next hardest one. Then they got the Colts. Now we're starting to get towards some easier games. Certainly not going to say we're going to win all of these games, but you got Tampa Bay, Week 17 against the Colts. Then you got the game against the Saints. Then we got Week 1 against Minnesota. Week 2 against the Commanders. And Week 9 against the Commanders. And then Week 10 against Carolina. So basically, Weeks 1 and 2 are on the according to this here, are obviously the 2 of the easiest games the Giants got to play. So the Giants, I really think, should hopefully start 2-0. Let's see if the online somewhat shows. I'm also wondering about how good this pass rush is going to be, but more importantly, I'm worried about teams running on us. Well, the one nice thing, okay, is that, then what else we got here? At least the schedule is better than that. Oh, yeah, you got that right. Well, the one nice thing is with Bowen, he has going for him. I'm not saying we're going to be a top 5 unit or top 10, but if you look at Tennessee's, their rushing defense, they when he was there, he did a very good job at controlling the run. That was very, 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 very big. I think they were good. I think when they got into the red zone, they were very good. But their rush defense was very, very good. He takes a lot of pride, apparently in that. So hopefully we should see a better production from our run defense. It was like with Wink Martindale. It was like like 2022, we were just getting gashed, absolutely gashed. I mean, last season was maybe a little bit better, but still, the run defense was not very good at all. But with Bowen, he seems to shore up the defense, the run defense. So hopefully, look for better things this season from our run defense. Yeah. And the other thing is that Bowen, he'll send maybe a guy, he'll blitz a guy or so, but he seems like to try to get pressure with the front 4, drop the other guys into coverage, Now we might give up maybe more completion percentage in Bowen's defense. We might give up maybe, We may not get as many turnovers because with Wink Martindale, as he says, pressure burst pipes. You get pressure, maybe things fumble, you throw a fast pass, you throw a pass, gets picked off or something like that. So the Giants have had a lot of turnovers defensive-wise. Those numbers might come down a little bit with Bowen. So, you have to wait and see. But I'm kind of hoping that our run defense will be better with Bowen. All right, and then this is this there. We go. Yeah, this is it. Go Kawika Mitchell. Now he was with the Giants in 2007. I don't remember exactly what happened, but he was with the Chiefs for 4 seasons, 2, 3. I think for 4 seasons he was with the Chiefs. We got him for 1 season, and I don't know why we just signed him for 1 season. He did pretty good. I mean, he wasn't Ray Lewis, he wasn't Lawrence Taylor, he wasn't Carl Banks or nothing, but he did pretty good. And then he was gone. The next season, I think, next 2 seasons, I think he went to Buffalo. And I think if I remember, I think he finished the season with his final season was with the Saints in 2010, I think it was. But I don't know. I don't know if we tried to keep him and we didn't offer him enough money and he wound up going to Buffalo. That I don't know. But he was with the Giants for 1 season, and as I said, he did pretty good. One thing I'll never forget is the second, the final game of the season. In 2007, we went into Buffalo, and if we won, we were in the playoffs, right? And we were losing 21-17 going into the fourth quarter in Buffalo, right? And we scored 3 touchdowns. Early in the fourth, Kawika Mitchell picked off a pass, ran it in for a touchdown. Now the Giants are up 24-21. A little while later, that's when Ahmad Bradshaw, I never like the snow flurries were coming down, went 88 yards, took it up the middle, 88 yards to the house. The snow flurries coming down in Buffalo. Now we're up 31-21. There was like 6 minutes to go, I think it was, or so, something like that. And then, of course, Corey Webster sealed the deal because the very next series, the Buffalo got the ball. They made a pass. Corey picked it off, ran it back for a touchdown. Now the Giants won 38-21, sent us into the playoffs in 2007. So that was a big, big game. But it was a shame. I mean, because with Kawika, I mean, he did pretty good. Did pretty good that year for us. So now why we never tried to, or why we didn't get him back, I don't know. That I don't know. But he had a pretty heartfelt story here about trying to, I guess, thanking Amani Toomer. Everybody's got demons, some got them more than others. Some guys have demons and they get addicted to certain things and all of that. And what exactly he got addicted to, I'm not sure. I mean, some guys, you're playing football. I mean, some guys might get addicted to painkillers. You're trying to support, you're trying to play the game you love. You're trying to provide for your family and you're trying to extend your career and all this stuff and everything. And, every day you wake up in pain. Some guys, I don't know. I don't know if it was painkillers, if it was drugs, if he was alcoholic, if it was all the above. I don't know. But apparently he had some issues, and he was thanking Monty Toomer for kind of basically trying to turn him around there. Says, this is from Giants Wire, ex-Giants Kawika Mitchell shares heartwarming Amani Toomer story. Says, the Giants Super Bowl winning linebacker Kawika Mitchell recently took to his social media account to thank friend and former teammate Amani Toomer for saving his life. They said, because Amani Toomer, right, in 2007, right, he was with the Giants, and I said Mitchell was only with the Giants for the 1 season, 2007. But he got himself a Super Bowl ring. Hopefully Mitchell still has a Super Bowl ring. That I don't know. But Mitchell posted pictures of himself and Toomer. 2 different pictures. Now, you can click on this link here. It's from Giants Wire. It says Mitchell posted pictures of himself and Toomer. So if you click on that, it takes to 2. There's 2 pictures. There's a picture on the top. They're inside someplace. I don't know, wherever it was. Mitchell's got like a blue shirt on, and Amani Toomer's got a suit and tie on. And it says it doesn't, the Mighty Tumor doesn't know the impact these two moments had on my life. There's two pictures he had. The top picture was apparently whatever demons he had going on. Kawika said he was in the picture. He said he was depressed, he was unhealthy, he was recluse, he was addicted, he was dying. Whatever he was addicted to, I don't know. Then at the bottom picture, it looks like they're both getting ready for like a bicycle race. Looks something like that. So the bottom picture is he's living, he's being, he's healthy, he's connected, he's recovered. And he said yesterday marked 4 years of sobriety from all things, minus ice cream. So good for you, brother. You eat a freaking gallon of ice cream if you want to, man. It's good for you, man. Way to go, brother. So apparently, it's 4 years he was healthy. He's been off of whatever sobriety. So I don't know if it's alcohol, drugs, both. I don't know, but these 4 years, and apparently Mighty Tumor was a big part of that. It says today I experienced freedom to just be, to love, experience, thrive, live, and appreciate. I could go on and never give up. So that's absolutely, that's freaking fantastic. It doesn't even have to be him. It could be anybody, man. It's a great freaking story. Great story. Do you like Wink? I didn't at all. 3rd and 20, he's bringing the house and even touch. Yeah, I know. I don't like scheme. Brown is. Oh, he is. He is. Oh, he is. I mean, that's what Patrick Graham was. Absolutely. Patrick Graham was, can the other team go 15 plays down the field? It was like, we dropping back into coverage, with Patrick Graham, right? We, maybe a lot of, zone, right? So we're dropping in zone. Quarterback drops back. Can we get to the quarterback with 4 guys? Maybe we blitz 1 or something like that. But the quarterback gets the pass off, completes a 7-yarder, 8-yarder, whatever. Guy catches it. We run up, make the tackle. Now it's 2nd and 2, whatever. Can they go 15, 16, whatever it was, down the field without screwing something out, without there being a holding penalty, without there being a fumble, without there being an incomplete pass, without there being a loss of yardage on a play or something like that? It's not easy to do. With Graham, it was more like, keep stuff in front of you, nothing maybe overhead, nothing too risky, because with Wink, it's cool sending guys all over the place. Who's coming? What's going on? Who's coming? But when you're sending guys, that leaves guys one-on-one back there. You only have so many guys in the secondary. As I said, a lot of times our run defense was just atrocious. We did get a lot of turnovers. We didn't get a lot of turnovers maybe with Patrick Graham. We didn't get a lot of interceptions. But it's a lot safer. It's a lot safer. And as I said, hopefully our run defense will be a lot better. So we'll have to wait and see. But Bowen's defense does remind me a lot more Patrick Graham type. Yeah, it's weird because we went from Patrick Graham to something kind of totally different. Now we're kind of totally different once again, back to like a Patrick Graham kind of thing, And so, if we have some real good athletes and all and everything, I certainly feel pretty good about this defense. We got a lot of, we got some really, really good, fine athletes. I said, if you look at just like the interior, the middle linebackers or interior linebackers, whatever you want to call them. McFadden's did a pretty good job last season, but a Carrick, let's not forget about Darian Beavers. I'm very anxious to see him get back on the field. What can he do? Is he healthy? This last season, it seemed like he wasn't quite back from his injury from the year before. So I'm very anxious because we see the freaking guy. He's a nice size for an inside linebacker. Nice, flies all over the field and everything like that. Very, very anxious to see him. We just got like a little taste of what he could possibly. I'm not saying the guy's Ray Lewis or something like that, but what we picked him at. I'm pretty excited to see this guy on the field. Now, he got injured. It was in preseason, so it's a shame. So we didn't see him hardly at all in 2022. We didn't see him really at all last year. So I'm very anxious to see. I said we got the inside linebacker, Isaiah Simmons, right? Beavers, McFadden, Sewell, right? Bobby Okereke. Oh yeah, now the edge rushers we got. Now we finally got three edge rushers. I'm very anxious to see with Newman. We got Pinnock and Belton and Newman. I'm anxious to see what's going to go on with the cornerback situation. Now, apparently, Phillips might maybe try to have him as a nickel or the corners or the slot cornerback. Who's going to win the job outside? But we got some talent, and a lot of these guys are very good athletes. They are very, very good athletes, So I'm very anxious to see what we can do this season. And I said, let's give ourselves, one more season. What can we do next season in free agency, right? And in the draft, can we bring in another one or two studs, especially on the defense? We could have a nice defense. I said next season between free agency and the draft, we fill in some more holes. We should have very nice, good offense and a good team, then we can maybe start, worrying more about maybe some really good depth, right? But I'm very excited. I don't want to be Johnny, Mr. Downer, like that, but we're not going to the Super Bowl this season. But are we better? Are we taking a step forward in the right direction? Anywhere? Nah. I haven't seen nothing about Adoree Jackson. Everything, what I'm hearing is that it doesn't seem like they want Adoree Jackson back. I know he's still out there. Have they picked the phone up and tried to call him? I don't know. But what I'm hearing, because I try to listen to Ed Valentine with his Big Blue View, Patricia Traynor with Locked On Giants, and then the Big Blue Kickoff Live with Paul Dottino and John Schmelk, Lance Meadow, Howard Cross is on there, Jonathan Casillas is on there as well too. And they I think it was the past week or so, I think that somebody brought up one of those shows. Somebody brought up Adoree Jackson, and apparently it just didn't seem like they have any inklings on trying to bring him back at all. But I haven't heard nothing about Waller. At all. Adoree Jackson can't be burnt 1 year. No, he's still young, too. I mean, I know he ain't 30. Let's see here. Hold on there. Was he 27, 28, something like that? Adoree Jackson. Let's see here. 95. September 95. So he'll be 29 in September. Yeah. Now part of it now, I don't know, what he might be asking for. Now we don't got a ton of money. We would have, obviously, if Waller retires, we'll have a nice little more chunk of change. The interesting thing too is that Adoree Jackson, right? He was with Tennessee to 2020. Let me see what let's see here. Hold on. Shane Bowen, the Giants here. Okay, here we go. All right, he was with Tennessee 2021. Okay, so he was the Titans outside linebacker coach in 2018 to 2020. Right? 2021 to 2023, he was their defensive coordinator. So with Adoree Jackson, 2021 to 2023, when Shane Bowen was the Titans defensive coordinator, Adoree Jackson was with the Giants. But 3 seasons that Bowens was their outside linebacker coach, he was there with Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson was with the Titans from 2017 to 2020. So, but from 2018 to 2020, Bowen was the outside linebacker coach. So they crossed paths 3 times. 3 years. They were on the same team. Right. So Bowen's got to be familiar with him. Very familiar with him. Right. Well, so, but the thing is, I don't know what he's looking for. Now, the other thing is too, it's kind of like if you bring Adoree back, do you sign him for, I say, you don't know what they're thinking, right? If you bring Adoree back for, say, 3 years, I'm just throwing a number out there, right? Just throwing it on though, because, Adoree was making a nice chunk of change when he was here. But say we bring him back for 3 years, just say $10 million a year, right? So we owe him $30 million for 3 years. Well, the first season, right, you can bring that down. You know what I mean? So, say his cap hit this year, it might only be 5 or 6. Well, that the Giants could quite possibly do that. Then you have to worry about the next year. Obviously his salary will go up a little bit the next couple of seasons, But do the Giants want him here for 3 seasons? Or they just want, if they bring him back, do they want him back as a placeholder? You know what I mean? You just hold the torch. We're going to draft a cornerback next year, and you pass the torch to them. Well, if they bring him back for 1 season, he's not going to come here for $5 million. I doubt it. Right? So he might want, say, $10 million. So I mean, if he wants $10 million, then pretty much you owe him $10 million for this season. Instead of you brought him back for multiple years, this season you might only owe him 5. So you don't know what Shane and the thing is that once again, he came with Kmart, right? So when Shane and Dable was here, Adoree Jackson was here. They didn't bring him in. He was here, right? I said they let him go. Not quite sure if they're going to bring him back. Don't exactly know. They've worked with Adoree Jackson. Shane Bowen, the defensive coordinator, was in Tennessee when he was there. So there's a lot of familiarity there. So I think, if they really wanted a guy back here, maybe it could also maybe be, right? It could be Adoree, you're the number 2 cornerback, so we can only give you so much money. Adoree might be like, no, I'm only 29. I'm the number 1 cornerback. I want whatever, 14, 15 million a year. I don't know. You know what I mean? So it could be that. So it could be money. They may not want him. I'll have to wait and see. But I haven't heard anything at all. Anything like they've contacted him or talked to him, or I'm looking for articles. Adoree Jackson came in for a talk or something. Nothing, not at all. I mean, nothing at all about Waller. We're still waiting on him. Although the thing is, like with him, it's kind of like if you're contemplating retirement, you got basically, you always seem like you already have one foot out the door, like you're retired already. So I don't know. I haven't heard none. Said the one nice thing, if Waller does retire, at least we'll save some money. So that'd be good. But I haven't heard nothing about either one. All right, guys, it's been 1 hour and 13 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Vinny G-Man, good talking to you, pal. Thanks for keeping me up. Appreciate it. Well, if anybody spends any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.